Welcome back. It's still Football Crossfire, and I am still Kibati Bankole. Laddie and Matthew are still right here, and this is the Rumble. Now, last week I gave Matthew 2 yellow cards. Guys, I've got my yellow cards and my yellow card and red card here. I'm feeling very generous today, so please don't make me use them. But guys,
I really don't like your generosity.
The game we're talking about today is a very heated one. I mean, it's always very tough when Arsenal go away to Manchester City. Manchester City were the biggest spenders in Europe in the last transfer window. They even outspent the likes of Real Madrid. They brought in the likes of David Silva. Their midfield is much stronger than ever. Remember the game between Manchester City and Chelsea, how Manchester City frustrated. It doesn't always happen in the EPL, but the team completely dominates the midfield when taking on Chelsea. But I mean, they showed that they've got a lot of strength in that midfield. We just have to give them that. But for Arsenal, the captain is back. Fabregas is back. I think he made a cameo appearance over the weekend, Matthew.
No, he didn't come in, but he's back.
But well, he might even play. He might even play tomorrow. I hope to see him play. There's something he brings to that Arsenal midfield. And the likes of Jack Wilshere, unfortunately for Arsenal, Jack Wilshere will not play in that game. He got a red card in Arsenal's last game, so he won't be available. Well, he started the last game for you guys. So Matthew, let me start with you here. Nigel de Jong, I mean, a man in the middle of controversy at the moment. People are complaining that he's way too aggressive, he injures players. I'm sure your players will be worried of him. Barry is there, Adam Johnson, a very bright British talent, James Milner. Not forgetting Carlos Tevez, the highest goal scorer in the EPL at the moment with 7 goals. And Emmanuel Adebayo, one man that seems to have something. Well, Adebayo is there. He scored against you guys last time he played at the City of Manchester Stadium. Matthew, you just have to admit that this is a formidable team.
I will admit that, no doubt about it. But the progenitor of that team, I think the biggest mistake that Mancini will blame himself for at the end of the season, or probably if he gets sacked somewhere, it might not get to the end of the season, is the fact that he had to let Craig Bellamy go. I don't know what happened, but what Carlos Tevez is doing in the dressing room is whatever Craig Bellamy had done. So I think for me, coming into this game, they dominated the midfield against Chelsea. No news about that. We saw that when they defeated Chelsea last season. It's not something strange. But what is strange about this team is they keep defeating all of these big teams, and somewhere along the line, the big teams would run over them at the top. And the log standing, they say the league table don't lie. Right now, it's not lying. But at the end of the season, would Man City still be there? Man City find a way.
Matthew, we're talking about tomorrow's game. I don't care about history and this team. So the strength of this team versus Arsenal.
Team, you and I will agree that Arsenal plays when Fabregas plays. He is the orchestrator of this team. He is the ruler of the orchestra. And for all the young butchering and killing, that's the reason why he's not playing for his national team anymore. I think the passing game of Arsenal will still tell. The same way it tell for Spain over Holland that had Nigel de Jong, it will tell for Arsenal over Manchester City that had a butcher in de Jong and a goal crazy, as you say, Carlos Tevez. But at the end of 90 minutes, Arsenal will dominate play and win this game.
I'm going to say something here, KBT. I know it's going to be a massive game. Later tomorrow, talking about Manchester City going up against the most successful London side in the history of the Premiership. But then, that is history. We're talking about what is at stake right now. As you can see, the faces of the Arsenal fan in the studio is subdued. It's just a reflection of what's going to happen at the end of 90 minutes. I'm telling you that, KBT, because if you look at the makeup of the two sides right now, last season, Manchester City spent so much money to bring in some players, but then they didn't get the chemistry right. But this time around, you saw their game against Blackpool. Though they didn't play very well, but they won the game. That's the makeup of a championship side. Not playing very well and getting results. We saw the game between Chelsea and Aston Villa. It wasn't fantastic. But you saw another game Chelsea played that won by a long goal. They didn't play very well, they got the result. Now I feel they have the temperament, they have the mentality now to go out there. Despite not playing good football, they will still get the result. Last season, they didn't get the result against all these smaller teams because everything was not really gelling for them. But this time around, it's gelling for them. Okay, despite the fact that they're not a high scoring side, they've scored 12 goals so far this season, but they've just let in 5 goals. But Arsenal, they've let in 10 goals, which shows that Arsenal lack what it takes to win the championship. Since 2005, they are yet to win anything, and they tell you they don't have money. It's because Arsene Wenger has been very frugal with money. But I don't believe that, man. Because I'm going to tell you something. Arsenal, they have boys in the team. You can't have a boy to go and do a man's job. You can't get the job right.
Okay, you know what? Let's start. Matthew, for all your criticism of Manchester City, they're just 2 points behind leaders Chelsea. They are 3 points ahead of Arsenal at the moment. So obviously, they are doing something right this season. But I mean, let's look at both defense. Let's start from the defenses now, guys. Let's break it down. Let's look at both defenses. Arsenal's biggest criticism in recent times has been their defense.